Okay, so for this assignment, the isometric drawing number 1 and any other isometric drawing assignments, this will be your instructions. You're going to have the isometric paper, you're going to print that out, and then you're going to be looking off of this paper here that has a bunch of different objects to draw. The measurements that you're going to be looking for are actually these spaces with these lines all around the object. So there's a couple of things you want to know. First, the small spaces where these lines are closer together, those are going to equal one box on your isometric grid. So one box would be from here to here, okay? And then one box up would be from here to here. So if I drew one complete box, it would look like that. So each one of those is 1. And those are those small spaces. Now, when you get to these larger spaces where the lines are spaced further apart, that's going to be 2 boxes. So I would start here and I would go 1, 2 boxes, 1, 2 boxes, 1, 2 boxes, 1, 2 boxes. So that would be a 2 by 2 square there. So you want to count the spaces, convert that to the boxes on your grid paper. For example, if I'm looking at my crow's foot right here, this is where I'm going to start. I'm going to count over to the right, 2, 4, 6 boxes. So if this is my crow's foot, I'm going to count over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm just going to put a dot there. You can go ahead and draw your line if you want. It's up to you on how you actually proceed, but that would be 6 boxes. So then you connect those here. You want to use a straight edge if you can, because you want these lines to be very straight. I'm drawing with a mouse, so it's very difficult to get them straight, but I want you to get the idea of what it's going to look like. And then if we count the left side of the crow's foot, we're going to go 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14 boxes. So bottom corner of the crow's foot, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Now see, I ran out of space. So you want to keep that in mind before you start so you know where to put your crow's foot. Now I can tell just by looking at the picture, my crow's foot is down and to the right. So I want to make sure that my crow's foot on my paper is down and to the right. So somewhere in this area would be ideal for your crow's foot. Okay, so let's erase this. So we were 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Okay, so now I'm going to do one loop at a time. And what I mean by one loop is I'm going to start at my crow's foot. I'm going to go around here, and I'm going to come back to where I started at my crow's foot. So I got to figure out how far I need to go. So I got to figure out how tall this is. If I look over here, I got 1, 2 small spaces, and that is the same for here. You can't see it, but there could be another line right here showing you that that's 1 large space, which we know is also 2 boxes. So we go 1, 2 boxes, and then I come back, following the graph paper, back down to my crow's foot. Then I'm going to come up 2 boxes here and complete this loop back down to my crow's foot. Okay. Now I have to count these spaces right here. And right here, there's one that's missing just like we had on this bottom corner. So you have to kind of just understand that that really should be another line there. And that kind of changes everything as far as your measurement. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 spaces. So you're going to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 spaces. I'm just going to put a dot there. Okay, so connect that. Now, since I'm right here, I don't really know what this looks like here, or as far, I don't really have any measurements on where that goes. I know it's going to go at least to the end of the block. So, but I can't even see it. So I'm not going to do that loop. I'm going to do this loop right here, this little square. So 2 boxes because it's a large space and it's a square. So I'm going to go 2 by 2 and find my way around. So 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Okay, so that's a completed loop there. Now I have this box on top, another loop I can complete. So it's another large space. So 2 boxes, 2 and 2. Okay, so now I have this shape coming up here. So 1, 2, 3 spaces, 1, 2, 3 spaces. And I'm going to go ahead and complete the loop right here. So I look back on the back side and I have another missing line, but I have a corner. So sometimes when you have a corner, they leave off that line so that you can kind of figure it out. So 2, 4, 6, and 2 and 4. So I have to come in this corner, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then it's 6 long. So I'm going to go 6 from this corner and 6 from this corner. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And if I've done that correctly, my graph paper line should line up and I just connect them. Now I can look right here to see how thick this piece is, and it's 1, 2 small spaces, so it's going to be 2 boxes. 1, 2, 1, 2, and then just connect those across the bottom. And this little notch out right here, I know that my top square right here was 2 across, so I know that this is 2 across. So it's also lining up. If I kind of draw this out here, it lines up with this mark. So I'm going to go up 1 box, up 1 box, and then just connect it. Okay. Now, really, I don't have a whole lot left that I really need this picture for other than just to kind of look off of. I'm going to bring this line back until it bottoms out into this notch right here. And the same thing goes for this one. I'm going to bring it back until it runs out of room there. And the only thing I have left is my circles or my holes that are in here. So I have to locate them first. So it gives me these notches right here, these lines and spaces. I want to find the outside location of both of these. So you're going to have to kind of, just like I transferred this corner to that line out there, you're going to have to kind of draw the outside down. You can see it lines up there. And you can see, whoops, much harder to do with a mouse. So I'm going to come over 1, 2 boxes, and I'm going to come up 1 box. So come up 1 box and over 1, 2 boxes. So right there, it's 2 boxes wide. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to make these dots. That's going to be the outside of my hole. So I'm going to draw this just kind of freehand in here. Okay, now I'm going to locate the next one. I am 2 spaces away, or I can count here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 boxes to the outside. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 boxes to the outside. And I'm 2 boxes by 2 boxes again, just like the other hole was. So I get my outline, and then I freehand my hole. And then you would erase these dots, or if you drew the whole box around there, you would erase those. So make sure you use construction lines. So far, at this point, I would have only used construction lines if I was drawing this with pencil. And then once I get everything finalized, I'll go back over it, a single solid line to complete it. All right, so the last hole up here, this is right in the middle. So I know that's 1 box over, and I'm 1 box over here. So 1 box by 1 box goes here, and I can see that it's 2 boxes wide. So that's my outline there. I went ahead and did an extra one just to count the boxes. Okay, now you see what I did there? I went outside of that box. You don't want to do that, so I'm going to undo that and redraw. Stay inside that box, but touch those edges. Okay, now I'm done. So this would be all construction lines at this point. Hopefully yours looks a lot straighter than mine does because I'm using a mouse and you should be using a pencil and a straight edge. Now I'm going to go back over and darken these lines, but when I do that, I'm going to do a single solid line across there. So don't take your pencil and go back and forth or make these sketchy lines here. We want to go straight back, a single solid line on all lines on this page. Okay. When you're finished, you're going to fill out your name, title, date, and period down here at the bottom. Make sure that you only use these 2 middle guidelines here. So let's see if I can write my name. This is terrible.
So this is about sketching. Well, there's 2 different types of drawings we do in here.
So what I'm using is single stroke Gothic, which you are all virtual. We did not go over single stroke Gothic because everything that you're going to be doing for the most part is going to be digital or typed. Now that is supposed to say John Glore. But if we want to use all capital letters, so that would be the basics of single stroke Gothic. So using these 2 middle lines here, keep your letters in between there, and use single stroke Gothic to put your name, title, date, and period right there for me. So title would be Isometric Drawing Number 1. So whatever it is in Google Classroom, that's what you'd put for the title. And then the date can be the date you did it or the date that it's due. Either one is fine. And then your class period. If you have any questions, send me an email. Good luck.